Hi, this is Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com and DevOps TV here at IBM InterConnect 2017 on the exhibit hall floor. And I'm happy to be joined by a repeat
Hi.
visitor to our DevOps TV, Ralph Van Beek of Rabobank.
That's right. Yep.
Ralph, welcome back.
Thank you.
Certainly
Good
better
to be
than the
here.
hallway we filmed in last
Yeah,
year.
last year was a challenge, but
Yes.
this one is really better.
Much better. So, Ralph, you presented this year at IBM, and we're gonna at InterConnect. We're gonna get into that in a moment. But first, just to give our audience a little background, maybe they don't know Rabobank. Can you
Yep.
give us a little corporate background?
Yep. Well, Rabobank is a Dutch bank, primarily big on retail and on food and agri. Which, I mean, for retail, it's primarily concentrated in the Netherlands. If it's for food and agri, we're all around the globe, everywhere where you will find agribusiness. What makes Rabo unique in this sense for DevOps is that we are completely rebuilding our payment factory using System Z and COBOL. And, that also brings in a DevOps challenge for that area.
Yeah. So Ralph, people hear Z Systems or System Z and COBOL, and of course they're thinking mainframe, and they're thinking big and slow.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing could be further from the truth, actually. I mean, what you guys are doing, and it's something that you presented on here, right? It's kind of cutting edge in that this isn't your dad's mainframe or your grandma's mainframe. These are mainframe and COBOL programs.
Yep.
That are cutting edge, right? And
That's right. Yep.
You presented on using urban code,
Yep.
right, for CDCI and for deployment of COBOL programs on System Z.
Yep.
Give our audience a little bit of background. What'd you do here?
Yeah. Okay. To start with, if you rebuild your payment factory and produce massive lots of code, you want to speed up. You want to test in an automated way. You don't want to lose time on deploying code, things like that. So we really wanted to automate things, being reliable in that, being repeatable, etc. So the thing is, this technology needs a close interaction with the middleware that you're talking to. So there was really one partner that we could look for to develop the tools for that, which was IBM. So what we decided is to have a close cooperation with IBM to really expand the functionality of RTC and Urban Code and able to do push of the button deployments of complete COBOL applications. And I'm not talking just about the code. I'm also talking about the database definitions. I'm talking about the MQ connections, the web services, the whole thing with a push of the button.
That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Pretty impressive. So, Ralph, you and I had a chance to talk off camera beforehand, and we were talking about this whole idea of multi-speed or two-speed IT, and how, the Z Systems and companies like Rabobank are pushing the envelope where they really are moving at the speed the business needs. And you said, yes, we're doing it, but it's not without its challenges.
Yep.
Give our audience a little bit. What are some of the challenges that you're overcoming or have yet to overcome at the bank?
Well, one of the challenges is that if you talk about how you work with a deployment, there's a fundamental difference between how mainframe works against how the distributed world works. In the distributed world, if I need to replace one single line of code, I just replace the full application, the full air file. Whereas with the mainframe, with the high availability, you can't just allow yourself to take down the entire system for a couple of hours. That's not the way to go. And also there are higher risks involved to that. So incremental deployments are there to stay, but it has a tremendous impact because it means also that you want to have a different view on how an environment looks like. The rollbacks, if something fails in your deployment, you're not deploying your entire application, but just that single file. And so if you look to how that then works, what requirements does that bring to the products that you use, there's still quite some work to do over there.
Yeah,
so
there is. But, as I heard once in a movie, difficult but not impossible.
Well, we're doing it. So
you're doing, and that's another thing that I wanted to make sure our audience is aware. This stuff you're talking about, using the urban code, getting these Z systems into your payment factory, it's not theoretical. It's not even planning. It's in production today. Correct.
It's in production. Just to give an idea of the magnitude, these are the systems that are doing all the payment functionality of the Rabobank, which is about 40% of the volume of the Dutch economy.
Really?
So if these systems go down, 40% of the economy goes down. So might as well say this is proven technology. Now, to make it a little bit smaller again, we are just live for 3 months, which means that we don't have 100% coverage yet. So we're currently at some 15%.
15.
1.5, yeah. So not all the applications have been onboarded yet, but the ones that have been onboarded, they are really in the core of the functionality.
So I want to just ask you, so we had an interview here yesterday. Are you using the Cobalt 5 or Cobalt 6, or are you
Cobalt
still
5,
on Cobalt 4.2?
No, Cobalt 5. We are using the G13. We want to exploit its power, so as soon as we could go to Cobalt 5, we did that.
Is Cobalt 5,
Yeah.
that everyone says it's a huge step over the previous 4.2 and so on.
Well, actually it isn't. Yes, you need to do some preparation with going to PDSEs and things like that, but that's just work. To be honest, we had a plan B for in the case that it would go wrong. We kept Cobalt 4 available also, but there were no issues whatsoever. We just went to Cobalt 5 and it worked.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it. So Ralph, we're going to need to wrap up, but what's next? What do you see coming on the horizon for the bank and C systems?
Applying the same concepts that we do for applications to our testware. The challenge is if you're working in Z, you're working with systems of record.
Right.
Now, the beauty and the ease of testing in the distributed area is that when you have an app, you're in most cases are dealing with a single product with a single server. In the background, you've got systems of record that need to be able to talk or to have the functionality of hundreds of products and hundreds of channels that come together at that spot, which means that we do much more end-to-end testing, where the challenge is how do I build up my end-to-end setup of my testware, my test data, my stuff, my drivers. And the answer is very simple. Applying the same logic that you do for applications also to your testware.
Got it. Got it. Well, Ralph, thank you for being our guest on DevOps TV. Thank you for presenting here at IBM InterConnect, because I think,
pleasure to do.
You know, all too often people try to treat the mainframe guy as the big slow brother, right?
Well, we've proven them wrong, I think.
Absolutely, and you do it every day, and I'm sure you'll do more in the future.
Okay.
Continued success.
Okay.
Good
Thank
luck.
you. Okay.
This is Alan Schimmel for DevOps TV here at IBM InterConnect 2017.